Kia ora. I've got Rob Anderson here, rather reluctantly, it's fair to say, 2 weeks away from finishing this phase of what's been a 50-year connection with Wellington College. You started here as a student in 1969.
Indeed, yeah, in 3C1 in 1969, a form class of about 37 students.
Wow, right.
Yeah.
What are your memories of that time of Wellington College in that late 60s, early 70s?
Probably wasn't a great time in the history of the school. The school was just a building site.
Yeah.
And the Memorial Hall had been pulled down. There's this big gap. But it's like a big gap in the school's psyche as well. So the school couldn't meet for assemblies, and this vandalism that the old boys had talked about of pulling it down the Memorial Hall. And the rest of the school was due for demolition and rebuilding. So there's no maintenance going on, so the place is pretty shabby. Yeah.
You always loved sport.
Yeah.
Was that including when you were a student? Did you play cricket and rugby for the school?
I did. I played rugby quite badly, and cricket I was in the first 11, and I loved my cricket. Yeah.
You came back in 1979.
Yeah.
So 40 years ago this year as a beginning teacher.
Yes.
And you started on the very same day as Harvey Rees-Thomas started as headmaster.
I did. The first time I met Harvey Rees-Thomas was on my first day, because I'd been appointed by his predecessor, Seton Hill. And Harvey was just a young man. He was 39 years of age. And he had a tough gig, I think, starting off. But he was a wonderful man. And he really was responsible, I think, for the renaissance of Wellington College.
He led, I was a student at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So he led, he just led with such heart.
He did. And as a young teacher, a lot of young teachers started with me. We just adored Harvey.
Including Rob Corliss.
Rob Corliss.
Started on the same day.
Same day.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, over that time, you taught geography and history. You've been, and social studies. You were the head of geography and social studies. You've been dean. You were a dean for many years. You have been deputy principal with different portfolios. What any particular roles stand out for you?
Yeah, I love being HOD. It was at a time when there's a new curriculum in geography and in social studies as well. So it was fabulous reshaping what we were doing in geography and delivering that, and had a great team of teachers as well.
Yeah.
So that was a good time, and the numbers were going through the roof of students, and that was a very fulfilling time. Yeah.
The extracurricular life of Wellington College has been something that you've really lived. I mean, you've been a huge supporter of the arts here. You're instrumental in rowing coming back to Wellington College, from my understanding. Cricket, you coached first in cricket?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, one of the things I went into teaching to do was to coach. And just as I was a bad rugby player, I was a fairly bad rugby coach. That became apparent. But I got involved in coaching cricket and coached the first 11. And then we formed a cricket committee because there was a revival in cricket, just like this recent World Cup is going to do something to cricket in the early 80s.
It was the days of the beige.
That's right, the beige brigade. And the one-day cricket live on TV in New Zealand doing well, and Hadley and the rest
Lance
of it.
Cairns hitting sixes all over the MCG.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, my memory is from third form cricket. In 1986, we had about 14 third form cricket teams.
Yes, that's right.
We all played up at McAllister Park.
All over the place. And to try and organise that, because I was club captain, took me more time, I think, than my teaching duties actually. But I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the coaching and some fabulous players. And then the rowing too. I've never rowed in my life.
But
my son Tom was, so I got involved and then became the teacher in charge of rowing. And they're really happy memories there. Rowing, the boys are amazingly committed, good group of parents, and a lot of time spent at regattas and rowing camps, and good friendships formed. And the boys, I think one of my favourite quotes is from the rowing magazine, New Zealand Rowing Magazine. It was a Māori Cup, and we won 2 gold medals in one afternoon. And the magazine said unfancied Wellington College kind of took the regatta by storm.
And you got a boat named after you.
I have,
yes. The Robert Anderson.
Robert Anderson. Rob Anderson, and I sometimes see it down at Star Boating Club there, and sometimes people text me and said, I've just seen you outside Star.
Hey, we're almost out of time, and we haven't touched on things like the history French study tours, the history of the school, which you have really held for us. That has been such a big focus. Your connecting of the current students to the past of the school. That's something that's been a real feature of your leadership.
Yeah, well, I think the history tours really did that, because what we thought we would do is tell the story of World War One through
the old boys,
and research those old boys, and remarkable stories, heartbreaking stories, telling these stories to these boys, and then finishing the story at their gravesite in Gallipoli or the Western Front somewhere, or at their name on a memorial. It really brought it home. Very sobering, but amazing stories.
And so names like Dougie Hall, Harmy Grace, Oscar and Victor Galley were names
Alex McCall.
And that you did so much to bring those stories and narratives back. We are going to miss you so much, Rob.
I'm going to miss you too.
It's impossible to imagine Wellington College without you. I know we've gone way over time, but I do need to say that we're having a community celebration of Rob's contribution to Wellington College. We're having that on August the 15th in the Alan
14th.
Gibbs Centre. Sorry, did I say 15th?
Yeah.
August the 14th. Thank you, Rob.
That's okay.
Gee, I'm going to miss you. August the 14th, 5 p.m. in the AGC, the Alan Gibbs Centre. The details for RSVPing are on our website. We do need you to RSVP, but we'd love to have you here. Thank you, Rob. We will. It's one of those. It's like, goodbye, but not fully farewell. You're not going to be far away.
No, it's been a privilege.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ka kite.
Goodbye.